Harry Dean. I'm not actually a trained psychologist, but I'm just here today to offer you some ideas in goal setting and self-talk, just to see if I can help you in your sport. So what is the sport you play?
Cricket.
Okay, so what troubles are you having, or is it like if any?
Well, we've just started the season.
Okay.
In pre-season, I'm just struggling to get going a little bit at the minute because just having really poor turnouts like training, and don't really seem to have a team together per se at the minute. We're all sort of signing new players, and we haven't really got a team at the minute, and it's a bit hard to just try and keep going.
Okay, so would you say that's, so you say there's like a motivational climate then? The people you're around, you don't really know them that well, and you're just trying to...
It's motivation, lack of motivation in general at the minute.
Okay, what about your actual playing? Like how's your performances in like pre-season and stuff?
Not been great. I haven't hit a ball in... Well, we played and I hadn't hit a ball in months and months and months.
Yeah.
Bit nervous, especially because the player we were playing against, well, he's just signed a pro contract, so he was pretty sharp.
Okay, yeah.
And it probably wasn't the person I wanted to be facing first ball of the season, but yeah, it's a bit worrying.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm here to say today, well, it's obviously trying to offer you some sports psychology. So what I can suggest is goal setting. So pretty much goal setting. Guy Hubby Brown was a former coach in the New York Knicks, said, well, transform potential into performance involves setting and attaining goals. So it really is quite important. So what you want to do, you want to make sure you have an outcome goal. So you want where you want to be, like the main objective. So how many, the total runs you want to hit in like a season or something like that. So maybe you can better that from last season. You need to be able to performance goals. So there's specific standards to be achieved. So outcome goals, you don't want to focus on them too much, because that's like the overall goal. So the performance goals, so how you want to deal a particular game. So like you said, you might come up against a really good team. So you think, I'll do a few more blocks this time, and against the lesser teams, I'll try and hit some more shots and some like bigger shots. And then there's process goals. So process goals are like they're established to map the route to achieving the desired performance goals. So say if you say you want to hit your performance goals is hit 50 runs for this game, your process goals will be, so you get to the crease and you'd be like so, and then you go through in your head the mental images that you want to be. So the stance, you look around to see what like the players are, the ball, so all that kind of stuff. So you just kind of break down the shot into 5 or 6 mini little things you do, just to ensure that your body, your posture is correct, all that kind of stuff. So you're just breaking it down. So like, how does that sound? Like, do you do any of that stuff now? Do you go to the crease? You kind of, or like, do you have goals? You set
we have
yourself
long-term goals, not necessarily process goals.
Yeah.
And no self-talk or
yeah.
imagery or anything like that at the minute.
So with the long-term goals, do you ever find that, because I'm guessing are they quite hard to attain?
Season-long goals.
Yeah. So I can imagine you feel you're always a bit far away from them, especially at the early stages of the season.
Cricket's just a bit of an up and down game, so you can have 2 good games at the start of the season, and then you think you're going to smash that target, and then all of a sudden you go on a 4 or 5 bad bounce, and then all of a sudden that target seems miles away.
Yeah, yeah.
So it can really vary when you're thinking I can really get there, or miles away.
So it's good to have the long-term goals, but like I said, it's probably best to break it down and have like short-term goals of where you want to be after like each game, or maybe after like 2-3 games, and just kind of break it down like that. Because obviously the long-term goal, because it seems so far away, it can always be a bit hard to motivate yourself to actually achieve that, because it's so far in the distance. Whereas if you're setting yourself short-term goals for the upcoming games, that's something you can really work towards and motivate yourself towards. The thing is with goal setting, there's been a lot of research done out there, and psychologists find it hard for the clubs and the players to integrate the two together. So there's a case study made in the professional football club, and the results showed that the players had difficulty in making their individual goal setting effective, which could indicate a lack of organisation, knowledge or proficiency in the area. So if you are going to goal set, it's really important that you have a clear idea of where you want to be, have realistic goals, and have goals that you can attain. If you have something that's too unrealistic. I mean, you're never going to get there. Well, not never going to get there, but it'd be hard to get there, and it'd be hard to motivate yourself to try and get there because back in your mind you know you might not get there. And then goals that are too easy, they're usually once they're achieved, it's hard to kind of repeat that process and keep making up mini like little goals. So it's best to have short-term goals and long-term goal which are attainable. So what about in practice then? How do you feel you're doing in practice in comparison to competitive games?
Still a little bit dodgy on because we have 2 lads now and another one coming. They bowl pretty quick. We got Davey who plays for Scotland.
Okay.
Matt's just come back from injury. He bowls pretty quick. He plays for Hampshire. And we've just signed a left armour from Hampshire. No idea who he is, but everybody says he bowls pretty quick, and it's just tough early.
Yeah.
Just, trying to not let their pace affect how you do things.
Yeah.
Don't jump away. You've got to stop worrying about being hit, because if you're worried about being hit, you're gonna get out a lot against those kind of guys. So yeah.
Nice. Do you set any away from cricket, but still in fitness? Do you set yourself any goals to do in the gym, or any fitness goals? Do you try and better yourself in that situation as well?
Well, yeah. Well, on the exercise bike, it'll be. I'll either do 20 minutes, like on it every other day, 20 minutes of interval, or 40 minutes continuous.
Yeah.
And then it's just I want to get further than I did beforehand. So
Okay.
it'd be like, if I did 16.5 kilometres last time, I want to do 17 this time, and then slowly up.
So you do set yourself goals in the fitness
Not
as
long term,
well? No, but
very
they're more
short
short term. Okay, maybe that's something you could think about then, is having a long term goal in that aspect in practice. Also with the skill goals, so the practice, the skills you do in practice. Do you ever set yourself goals? So if you're in the nets, do you say I want to hit a certain amount of cover drives or whatever, or do you not really have any goals there?
We do drills and stuff around hitting certain areas a certain amount of times.
Okay.
And you have goals for that, but I'm more of a fan of the process.
Yeah.
So I think if we're on a machine and we're hitting 5 out of 5 balls there, 4 out of 5 balls there, wherever, I think it's great that I can do that here, but what really matters is how I'm doing it. Because at the end of the day, if I'm doing it well, the outcome will come if I start the process.
Yeah, it will come. Yeah, obviously, if you do, that does make sense. So when you're in competition, so when you're out on the crease, do you have certain goals there? Like, do you have goals you have in practice that you say you want to achieve this? So obviously, I guess you also know what team you're playing, what you're coming up against, so you do a bit of research on them.
We have our coaches. Well, our coach/manager is very good. He tell us exactly who's going at what rate per over.
Yeah.
So we know that a side like Downend have Hamilton and Lloyd open, I think.
Okay.
And they go for like 3 and over.
Okay.
So when we play them, and I'm in the top 3, so if we get an early wicket, we know that we don't have to go at it.
Yeah.
So we break down sort of short sections of the game, like 4 overs of the game, and say this is what we want to achieve in this bang. And we almost do like a long term, what total we want to get to at the start, and then we break it down into overs. So very much like your long term, and then break it down. That's how we do it.
Yeah, like one thing I'd say in competitive games is that you want to keep your goal setting as limited as possible due to other variables. Like you might come up against a team and they have a new player and he might be very, very good, or he might not be so great. So if you're trying to if you set too many goals for a competitive match, it kind of causes a bit too much stress because you're just kind of, it's like an overload on the body. So if you did have like a certain amount of runs you wanted to hit in an over, but if there's like a different variable, and again, like I said, they're very good or they're not very good, you can kind of better that target or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we always revise in the game.
Yeah,
so if they have a good 4 over,